Now, just like we had before when we talked about parallel lines, it proved that we could use unknowns and angle values with unknowns to prove that they would be equal, right? Prove that the angles would be congruent. Now, we can also do very similar. What we can do is we can actually say we can find our angles that we know are congruent to prove that lines are parallel, right? So we're working backwards. We're trying to find the value of x, or unknown, some unknown. I guess in our example 2, it's x. To find some unknown to make it so that our angles are congruent, thus our lines are parallel, okay? All right, so let's look at this one right here. Example 2, it says find the measure of angle MRQ, so it'd be this guy right here, so that we know that line A and B are parallel, okay? Well, let's look at what we have. Well, we have this angle right here, which is 5x plus 7, and we have this angle right here, which is 7x minus 21. And if we want to prove that A and B are parallel, those two angles have to be congruent, meaning they have to be equal to each other, right? Their measures have to be equal. So I'm going to say 5x plus 7 has to equal 7x minus 21. And I'm going to solve that for x. I'm going to find that value so that I can find out what that angle is going to be. All right, so this is like a moron problem. There's a side that has more x's on it, and that's the 7x side. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides real quick, okay? And when I do that, I end up getting, well, those go away. I have 7 equals 2x minus 21, okay? So now I have x's on the right. I gotta have all my numbers on the left. So I add 21 to both sides, right? I add 21 to both sides, and okay, I get 28 is equal to 2x. All right, so now I divide by 2, and I get x equals 14. Now, that's not what they were asking. They didn't ask for what the value of x was. They want to know what the measure of the angle is. So we got to go back to our problem, okay, and we have to apply 14 in for x. So if we have 5 times 14 plus 7, okay, so I multiply 5 by 14, that would be, let's see, 5 times 14, 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 4 is 20, so 15, 20, 70, plus 7 is 77 degrees. So what is the angle MRQ? MRQ, so measure of angle MRQ equals 77 degrees, okay? Which also means that angle RPN is also 77 degrees, okay? So here's a guided practice problem that you can actually try as well, okay? It's right here. It says, find the value of x, that actually makes that, that makes lines L and M parallel. Notice that those two angles are not going to be congruent. Instead, they're going to have something else in common. They're going to have something else, some other relationship that'll make it those lines parallel.